Would you trust an AI doctor? ChatGPT came for the first time and it took them just 5 days to have 1 million subscribers. At a hospital or in general as a country, we have some sort of data. All that data being fed to AI and then AI can make models out of that. The system persists like that. This has to be the treatment. Of course, it's not going to take all the jobs. It's not going to take, the job of the health professional. If it comes to emotions handling, AI has the more power, capacity to listen to us. ChatGPT is just 0.0001% of what AI can do.
President Watts Group Canada. So a huge round of applause for Sir everyone. So he leads a passionate team dedicated to creating and growing impactful businesses. With ventures in education, technology, travel, and social media, his aim is to make a positive difference in the world. He also worked as a director at R Squares Ventures Private Limited, Chandigarh. He is also an author of the book The Door Mindset and a sought after speaker who shares insights on immigration, entrepreneurship, and leadership. Sir, we are grateful to have you with us today. So now, without further ado, I would like to invite on the dais Mr. Ritesh Watts to share his views on the topic International Guidelines for Use of AI in Health. So let's have a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much. Yep. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. So I think this is the opportunity which I am taking today to talk about AI with healthcare. That is something like we'll be talking more about the intersection of AI and healthcare. First of all, I want to say thanks to everybody, especially the team at Saraswati Group of Colleges for giving me this opportunity because AI is one of the most, I would say, talked about topic these days. Yes or no? Can I get some voice? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Before we go further, like there'll be a presentation for sure for you guys. I just want to say like today's 35 minutes, which I'm going to take, although I've prepared for a long, but I think with the time constraints, we have to confine it in the short time. I'll keep it aligned with healthcare, Ayurveda, and AI. How these things are actually having a new opportunity, which is actually being driven in the Western world already. But in India, how this will be implemented down the line? In India, what are the opportunities? And there are very crazy aspects of AI that I'm going to discuss today. We'll start right away with the question that I have in my mind, and I usually ask people whenever I go to the sessions, and I always get a great perspective from all of those. But today it is very special because you guys are from that domain. So I want to start with the question: would you trust an AI doctor? Why or why not? Anybody who wants to answer this? Anybody who wants to answer? Yes.
So, trusting an AI doctor, it depends on what I'm like diagnosis and treatment plan. So, it depends. My personal opinion, I should not trust an AI doctor because the treatment plan that AI is showing us depends. It depends on different patients, it depends on condition, it depends on age, it depends on gender. So, trusting an AI doctor, like we don't have that fully matured AI. Like AI is not that capable that it can treat a patient fully. Like we have different conditions, we have different circumstances. So trusting an AI, like right now in that scenario, while we are not that fully dependent, like if we talk about in India, so the infrastructure, the technology is not that much provided, so you can trust an AI doctor. I can say that after 10 or 15 years, I can trust an AI doctor by incorporating, like the data is given to AI, the data it is incorporating from the different parts of the world. So I can say that after 15 or 10 to 15 years, I can trust an AI doctor. Like right now, I can't trust.
You can't trust at this moment. That's okay. But what is happening? You have a very, very right point on this. Like AI is not that mature as of now. But what is happening? If we see the speed of AI, do you remember 5 years back if there was any AI? No. It was 2022 November when ChatGPT came for the first time, and it took them just 5 days to have 1 million subscribers, 1 million users. And of course, there's a slide for that fact, but I'm just sharing it right now for the perspective. Instagram took 3.5 months to get 1 million users. Netflix took 3.5 years approximately to get 1 million users, but AI got just those same users in 5 days. And that's the speed of AI which is happening nowadays, right? So before we go further, I want to go one slide back. I want to tell you what we're going to understand today. We'll understand AI fundamentals, but more than that, we'll focus on understanding AI's growing role in healthcare, and then we could expect some eye-opening facts over here. We'll explore AI's global impact. We'll compare healthcare in India and Western world. I come from Canada, so I can give you a perspective like how healthcare has been there. And then we'll dive into AI's role in healthcare and Ayurveda and learn practical steps for AI adoption. I'll try to keep it short, but we'll go through these topics. And there's a surprise, there's a perk for you guys because you're attending this workshop. So as a gesture, there are some perks which we'll be discussing down the line. Can we go next, please? Okay. So usually when we start a picture, there's always a trailer. So these 2, 3 slides will be sort of a trailer what AI is doing nowadays. If you see, medicine is more algorithmic than you think. If we are not able to, trust AI doctors as of today, I would say, like, just imagine any sort of diagnosis. If that is happening, if we go to doctor, we see a doctor, they try to understand our symptoms, they try to match the pattern, how the symptoms are coming in, and then they match it with the clinical data that is already available. So that sort of intuition the doctors have, or probably that sort of calculation that's in their mind, through an calculative way, they try to give you the treatment, right? Am I right in that way? So anything that has a logical thinking can be modeled into AI. So what that means is if there's a logic in any sort of decision we are making as humans, that can be trained to the machines through algorithms. And that is what going to happen with the AI in medicine as well. This algorithm nature means AI can learn and automate many core competencies. Okay. And from reading images to managing complex data, that is already happening. So AI is already excelled in radiology and pathology. I'll have a personal experience out of this. I'll try to share that also. But what is happening? A lot of doctors, a lot of healthcare hospitals, and institutions are already using AI to solve complex data analysis. Because what I believe, I come from a tech background, but I know like you'll have more perspective on this. Whatever patient's data we have, that gives us more exposure. So we usually say like that doctor is experienced doctor. How we say that? Because let's say they have done thousands of surgeries, they have done hundreds of surgeries, and versus somebody who has just graduated, just started their practice, that means that person will be doing their first surgery for the first time, or first diagnosis for the first time, right? So if that same thinking comes to AI, imagine at a hospital or in general as a country or in general as a province, we have some sort of data, thousands of users, how they were getting symptoms, how they were being treated. This has happened in the COVID time also, how they have used AI. But all that data being fed to AI, and then AI can make models out of that. Like, okay, now this is the thing. If the system persists like that, this has to be the treatment. That sort of thing, and AI is already doing that. I remember last month I just got full body checkup because usually when we come to India we always have a habit to have kind of comprehensive health checkup because in Western world healthcare is not that accessible that it is in India. In India, it's a privilege. We can just, wake up in the morning and see, okay, I want to see a specialist doctor. I can book an appointment. I can go there. But in Canada, it has to go through family physician. You have to book an appointment. And appointments are usually 3, 4, 5 months away. It's not something that you get today or tomorrow. So we get the, report. I think the report was around 30, 32 pages, which I got for myself. I just upload it. I use AI a lot. I have a personal AI assistant for myself who writes my emails, who do a lot of tasks for me. I just gave that report to AI and asked simple prompt: give me the diet, give me the exercise, give me the recommendation that I should incorporate in my lifestyle, so as I need not to take any medicine as per the results. And to my surprise, it was definitely the clear instructions in 1 to 2 page. So I could definitely see a doctor, and I've seen a doctor. But imagine the capabilities of AI, which is actually not trained on medicine. that AI is not trained on the medicine, but still able to analyze the reports and then give the recommendations on that part. So that is actually happening with the simple chat GPT or perplexity, which is actually going in India nowadays. But if that AI is trained on medical data, that could do wonders. Okay, AI is coming for every medical specialty. We sometimes say, okay, it can answer simple, sort of symptoms. For example, it's a fever, it's a headache, or some sort of thing. What about specialty? What about internal medicine? What about cardiology? How it's gonna take the lead in that part? That can also happen because again, it comes in the way like the data, the pattern recognition, and the analysis of the symptoms is all aligned with the clinical data available. So that's how like there's a thing mentioned like how AIs are doing it. For example, there's a specialty doctor. Uh, Rather than they understanding symptoms, rather than they taking all those triaging things, for example, asking all the questionnaires and finding the reason, AI can do it, and even an assistant medical practitioner can help with finding what is possible with that patient, and the specialist doctors can take care of the other important things because that's a lot of thing happening in the emergency rooms in Western worlds. I'm sure like in India it's pretty much again accessible, but in countries like Western world, emergency rooms are overfilled all the time. We have seen in the reports, we have seen in the news also, but we have experienced in the real time. So that's the thing why they are more focused on having AI and how AI is coming into every specialty. Okay, what does this means for health professionals? Of course, it's not going to take all the jobs. It's not going to take the job of the health professional, or not going to take that emotional aspect what we have. But there's a saying in that also, like if it comes to emotions handling, AI has the more power or more actually capacity to listen to us as a human. If I am saying you my problems and my problems all the time, there could be a point where if you are listening to those problems, you'll feel like, what, enough is enough. I just want to see some of the positive things. And you cannot listen 24 by 7. So psychiatry is one domain which is getting more benefit out of AI because you give your emotions, you tell psychiatric AI, that takes the emotional cues and then answers you accordingly and let you feel like a companion. So that is helping, uh, what I would say, the patients in a very, very good way. Okay, call to action with this, why, like how AI is taking over, the call to action would definitely be take AI as your ally. Don't take it as like it is going to ruin our professions. It is a very noble profession, healthcare, but it will definitely be a support to you guys. Develop complementary skills to remain indispensable. And of course, let's go through this session with some attention so as we understand. Now we're going to start with the fundamentals. Who am I? I want to start with this. It's an introduction. Of course, I'm an author, entrepreneur, investor, and speaker. I wear a lot of hats, but I've been part of many of the institutional bodies in Canada, which is in immigration, real estate, and all that stuff. Been nominated for some of the awards as well. But majorly, what I would say, I feel in empowerment. What I believe is whenever I'm having the opportunity to talk to you guys or anybody in the world, I feel that there's a power that can empower. So my purpose of this workshop would definitely be to give you the insights to AI, because in India, what I have felt is AI is being considered as like if you're using Chat GPT, means we are using AI a lot. But that's not true. Chat GPT is just 0.0001% of what AI can do today. So that's what we're gonna do today. This is introduction about our company, Watts Technologies. We are basically focused at AI deployment for institutions and businesses. A lot of services on that, but I would say in just one crux, it's AI deployment, right? We have a community also where approximately 3,000 people are the part of this community, which is kind of a platform to give opportunity to talk to people around the world for specific purpose, for growth, for collaboration, and for connections. And that community is around 3,000 as of today. Next, please. So as I said, the perks will definitely be the access to that community. And more than that, there'll be a certificate from our company as well, just as a gesture because you're participating in this workshop. That means you'll be getting a credential to showcase to your LinkedIn and all other credentials, like you're also being part of an AI workshop. So let's start AI, what it is and what it can do. Anybody who wants to give me a basic definition, you can give the perspective of healthcare also, but in general, what is AI? Anybody? Anybody who wants to say? Yep.
It is just a technology that is incorporating information all over the world, and it is using it for the purpose and for the usefulness of the people. So we can say that it is just a technology that is incorporating information, putting it on at one stage and helping people to get out from there. What is where is the problem? Rather it is healthcare, rather it is economics, rather it is infrastructure, whatever it is, and it is helping the people getting out of from these problems. So we can say that it is.
Right. So giving them the information and getting the output, that is what AI for yourself, right? That's perfect answer. AI 101 in simple is AI is like machines or programs or software. If they can do what humans can do, but faster, that is called AI nowadays, right? So that is very simple. We use every day Chat GPT, Siri, Alexa. I think like everybody of you would have used it today multiple times. Imagine, finding directions. So we get the best possible route to our destination, that is by AI. Imagine, you are using Instagram for some of the posts and you're using some filters. That is again an AI. Imagine, you're searching on Google and Google is giving you some recommendations as per your previous search history. That's AI. Again on Netflix, if we search on something and we get the recommendation to the genres that we have been, used to watch, that means AI is working on that. So it is happening a lot of times. I've given you this data already. Like they got the users in 5 days, all that stuff. Can we please go ahead? So how industries are using AI? That is one thing. Healthcare. I have seen some videos recently with the research also that AI based nanobots going in the small nerves, and like I might not have that right terminology because I'm not from healthcare background, but going to the small nerves in the human body, finding those cancer cells, finishing those up, and then finishing itself because they are robotic, elements. If that is happening in healthcare, that is getting researched. Imagine the scope of services that could come into picture when it is finally, because of course legal complications would be there or another, licensing complications would be there, but that can be helpful in surgical precision. Finance, education. In education, it is very interesting. Personalized AI tutors. Like imagine everybody has a different speed of learning. मतलब अगर मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं किसी चीज को 5 hours के अंदर learn कर सकता हूँ and there's somebody else who takes 7 hours in learning. But in instruction driven classes, वहाँ पे तो instruction same speed पे चल रही है ना. But if AI can be incorporated, it can understand your preferences. आप कितनी स्पीड से ग्रैब करते हो, किन फंडामेंटल्स को जल्दी ग्रैब कर सकते हो, दैट इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग in AI based tutoring. It has already started with some apps in language learning. So if you example you want to learn French or Spanish, so आप जो apps के साथ जाओगे, they'll interact with you and then they give you the programs and modules in the way. So as आप अपनी speed पे कोई language को learn कर सकते हो. All of the other industries too, entertainment, manufacturing. Entertainment, I'm sure like everybody is using social media, so deepfake technology, videos driven by AI, video made by AI, cloning of voice, cloning of human, faces, all that is happening. But if used positively, that is also going to add a lot to entertainment industry. So I just want to see hands if you have used AI today. Who has used AI today? Almost everybody. Again, this example, probably through Instagram, probably through Google Assistant. Let's go next. Okay. Some of the mind-blowing facts. AI, what is happening? So the global AI market is $391 billion in 2025, but it is expected to be 1.83 trillion in 2030. Means approximately 4 to 5 times it's going to happen in next 5 years. So the speed, what has happened in last 3 years, it is going to be 5 times of that in next 5 years. AI could add 15.57 trillion to global GDP, which is equivalent to the GDP of whole of Europe. So a new technology, a new domain that is bringing a lot of capital, that is AI nowadays, and equivalent to the total GDP of Europe, like so many countries, but this is going to add more than that. 97 million jobs. Healthcare AI market is approximately 38 billion, 38.7 billion, which is doubled in last 2 years. And if you see the total market, 10% of that market is being captured by healthcare AI. So the domain relevance to AI, the number one industry that comes to the mind is healthcare because that is the need of the population. So if there are 800 billion people in the world, everybody needs healthcare. So that is the one industry which is not in a way like, okay, you can think about education, like these people need education, these people don't need education. Entertainment, these people are having access to education, some of the people don't want access to the entertainment, but healthcare is a necessity. That's why this is the biggest chunk. But there's an adoption gap. What has been seen, industries are getting into AI, but the workforce, the human skill is not upgrading. That is the reason the adaptability factor is there. So 81% of the workforce, be it in any industry, they are not adaptable. They are not actually adapting to AI as of now. But otherwise, industries are getting reformed by them. Trust divide is there. This is a very interesting fact for me personally. In US, only 32% people in a survey, they have said like they are open to adapting AI in healthcare, in other fields which is relevant to their lives. But in India it is around 77%. Because I would say like हम होते ही मतलब एक तरह से क्यूरियस होते हैं ना, राइट? Whatever comes new, let's try करके तो देखते हैं क्या चीज है. But people over there could be more practical, could be more concerned about privacy reasons or whatever it is, but they are reluctant to that. Let's go next. So current state of AI is its widespread adoption. अभी हर बंदे को AI पता है, but एक टाइम ऐसा था कि AI की बात हम जब करते थे तो it was like क्या हो रहा है ये, बेसिकली क्या चीज चल रही है. So it is at the stage of widespread adoption. But AI trends जो आ रहे हैं, that is generative AI. Generative AI के अंदर हम देख रहे हैं, it was usually text. Now we can create images, we can create videos, we can create voices. All of that is happening. And what is the future? It's seamless integration. I'll take you example through some of the examples in healthcare. But imagine if I have to get MRI scan, right? If I have to get some sort of scan, so probably I have to take help of somebody nowadays, right? But this could be a possibility that everything is being taken care by the machine. So I just go. It could be an imagination from my point, but I've read somewhere. But just give your thumb impression, the machine gets open for you, you get into the machine, your MRI scan is done, and then you come back, you talk to an AI board that is, understanding, that is giving you the test result assessment, like what is wrong or what is right in your, body. That sort of thing could be happening very, very soon. There are various impacts mentioned over here. I would be talking about healthcare only. There are different uh, aspects and different challenges that are coming in different industries. But healthcare, AI driven cures and early disease detection is already happening. But that is bringing some challenge, is like privacy concerns. So comparing like India to Western world, I think nowadays India is also going through Ayushman Bharat digital scheme, right? That is happening nowadays. In Canada, what I've seen is like we usually have a patient ID that is working all around Canada. So at one point I'm living in Toronto, and on another point I'm going in Calgary. What I can do is I can use that ID and I can go to doctor. They'll have all the reports that has ever happened to me, all the medicine prescriptions that are ever given to me. They'll see on a screen and they'll try to understand the symptoms with relevance to the previous diagnosis which I've already got. But if in India, I could probably go in the morning to some doctor and in the evening to another doctor, and I have to explain with some papers or some medicines like मैं ये medicine ले रहा हूँ, ये ली है, 3 दिन में ये करा, something like that, right? But I was impressed to see Ayushman Bharat scheme. I think they have one health identification number that is going to happen. जिसमें registrations हो रही हैं और insurance हो रहा है. That is pretty interesting. But how this is giving benefit? Now, if I see in India, or if taking an example of Canada only, if they have to adopt AI in healthcare, they already have the data digitized. I can understand in a way like with one upload, all the population of Canada, their health data, their health record can be uploaded and given to AI, and they can assess what is happening with their population, what sort of symptoms they are getting, what sort of diseases they are getting. Versus India, I think the problem would definitely be to digitize the data. Like if we are approximately 50, 60 people in the room, everybody have different DNA sort of thing, different, immunity levels, different sort of, acceptability to some sort of medicines. So those data has to be gathered, and then model has to be trained on that part. So that is the particular challenge. And I think that's why they are more aggressive on that part. They are saying already, like we have privacy concerns, like our healthcare records are all sort of reports. How it could be given to one company, because at the end, there's some companies behind AI, right? It's not the government, it's a private company that is running the AI thing nowadays, right? Okay. So AI's future, what is next? It is some sort of quantum computing. If you have been through some of the data, AI needs a lot of electricity. Like AI is not simply what we see on our screen. If we see the servers where the data is being processed, I think what they are predicting is down the line, if the supercomputing, if the quantum computing to process researches, to process the research and I would say new inventions, they have to deploy a lot of infrastructure resources to that. So जो lot of infrastructure चाहिए, that is actually the problem जिसकी जिसकी जिसका कंसर्न सबसे ज्यादा चल रहा है to the people who are actually trying to incorporate AI into different domains. Okay, AI is not the future of technology. It's already here. It is actually changing the future because it's the technology of today. That's a quote. Let's go. This is the best quote I have quote. So if I have to give you one perspective, the Andrew Ng, the I would say founder of the Google Brain and Coursera, ये उनके founder हैं. इनका quote बड़ा I would say it is in a way positive and in a way it can be said like आज हम बिना electricity के अपनी life imagine भी नहीं कर सकते. So they said like AI is like an electricity. What electricity has done to the world in last 100 years, AI will do to the world in next 5 to 10 years. Because as everything we see wearables, we see, our smartphones, our laptops are all sort of, communicable device, communication devices, all sort of things are with electricity and that is all gonna be powered by AI in the future very soon. Go ahead, please. Healthcare practices in India and Canada, I've tried to touch a bit on that already. But in India, holistic Ayurveda, I think still every doctor, what I've seen, I could be wrong on that perception too, but everybody has that sort of, comfort to you whenever you try to get the treatment. They still follow that ancient practices. You change your diet, you have some of the exercise, you take this sort of medicine, which is herbal. ये चीजें आपको बेटर कर सकती हैं. Allopathy is only at that part when the disease is incurable. वो जो आयुर्वेदा के साथ, but I believe Ayurveda has a lot of depth which can be understood and which can be incorporated. So इंडिया और कनाडा के अंदर डिफरेंस मुझे यही लग रहा है हेल्थ केयर के अंदर कि कनाडा के अंदर इट्स ऑल अबाउट टेक ड्रिवन. व्हेनेवर यू गेट द होल्ड ऑफ योर डॉक्टर, maybe it's a family doctor, maybe it's more special doctor, they always put focus on allopathy. They always put focus on giving you the medicines which can help you the with the cure of the disease, but a long I would say the timeline of having those medicines. Whereas in India it's more about holistic growth. They have their challenges and opportunities in both the domains. वहाँ पे भी कुछ अपने challenges and opportunities हैं, यहाँ पे भी कुछ अपने challenges and opportunities हैं. If we are thinking about this in AI advancement that I have already discussed, if we have to put the deployment of AI in India, the problem will come only about the digitization of the data, right? Otherwise, adaptability factor is already here. And I would say like, if you are the practitioners, आप already is domain के अंदर हो, you will definitely want to help patients whatever the best possible way is. And in Canada, it is all regulatory compliances, licensing, and a lot of other issues could come into the picture. That's a major milestone that has happened with the AI. It is this screenshot has been taken from the Google website, Google DeepMind, which is the lab for the AI, and this is of 13th August 2018. That means around 7 years back, they were already at a stage where their AI model, which they have built, was able to correctly recommend how patients can be saved from 50 diseases related to eye. So that AI was able to, diagnose all of that in 2018. If I see in 2024, I was able to see the recent news also. Now, this Google DeepMind has given license to an Indian company. Imagine the technology was from USA. They have given the license to an Indian company to deploy it to find the eye diseases in diabetic patients. So that sort of thing is happening in AI already, and I think it's a long time. It's like 7 years back, it has already happened. So what are the opportunities? What are the AIs? How is AI is transforming healthcare? It can give personalized medicine tailored to individual genetics and lifestyles. So genes makes a lot of difference when it comes to what sort of medicine we can give or what sort of recommendations can be given. If everybody have a personal AI assistant which has the profile details, genetic details, lifestyle details, so whenever any sort of symptom comes in, that medicine can be personalized to that person. Faster drug discovery using AI models, which means when it comes to research and finding the cures to the new diseases that are happening in the world, AI can help in that. Predictive analytics for early disease detection and intervention. So sort of predictions from the data, what you are giving to your AI every day. And what are the challenges? Patient data privacy and security risks, algorithmic bias, leading to unfair outcomes. This is a very important point. So imagine a company is building, a chatbot or an AI doctor, and that company is also invested into pharmaceuticals, and they are also making medicines. So their, AI would most likely will be recommending medicines from their own company. That could be a possibility. So the credibility is a major challenge. Need to have the explainable AI. So this is the next thing happening in AI domain. Now, whatever results we get on Chat GPT or whatever results we get from any sort of our interaction with AI, people are asking this should be explainable, like how and what sort of logic that AI has incorporated, why that AI has given this sort of answer, that should be explainable. Okay, I want to have question again. What concerns you feel could be coming in if AI would be engaged and involved in patient care? Any concerns that you might feel apart from the privacy risk, apart from the concern on the data? Any other risk that came to your mind?
Sir, the concerns are like the first thing that sir told, that empathy. The first thing that comes in your mind, that a patient needs an empathy from a doctor. And in the clinical practices, we have one diagnostic tool that is called as physical examination. So if a patient is coming to an AI chatbot or something else, so that physical examination, that is lagging. So we cannot assess the patient physically. We are assessing the patient on the basis of diagnostic, on the basis of other. But what about that? What about that physical assessment? What about that empathy? That is the point why we should. That comes in our mind when a patient is interacting with an AI chatbot or with an AI.
That is 100% true, and I can feel that. For example, if I am like getting sick, when I go to my doctor, I think 90% of the problem is solved right away, because that my doctor is giving me, sort of empathy, sort of motivation, like it's all sorted. It is just like some sort of symptoms, right? That is missing. That could be definitely a concern, but I have another viewpoint. It's not my personal viewpoint, but just to understand. So there was a time, I think, in our ancient medicine, everything was being diagnosed or assessed by the nerve, right? कहते हैं ना, नर्वस चेक करके वो चीज पता चल जाती है, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन योर गट और व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन योर बॉडी, इज इट फीवर है कि नहीं है. और इफ आई कुड से, आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ मेडिसिन हैज आल्सो काइंड ऑफ बीन डिपेंडेंट ऑन टेक्नोलॉजी. जितनी भी आजकल के टेस्ट हैं, वो सारी चीजें, वो असेसमेंट्स जो हो रही हैं, लाइक इफ आई सी अबाउट द लैब्स, there was a time like when blood sample was being observed by a human, but now they are being observed by the machines itself. If I see on the airports, like there are the machines, जो handheld machines हैं, they like used to scan us for the security purposes. But nowadays you just pass through a tunnel sort of thing, and your body is completely scanned already, like it is giving the observation. So empathy, definitely there would be concerns, and that's how we are not looking कि AI एकदम से 2 साल के अंदर या 5 साल के अंदर ये overtake कर जाएगा. That human touch is definitely needed. But what we could think of, imagine, empathy is also an emotion. And if AI is given that personality, that you have to understand, you have to find the emotional vibe, what the person is talking to you, that can change how that AI bot or actually AI machine is answering the questions or diagnosing the the person who has came for it. It could be 3-5 years from now, but that is definitely a possibility. And as humans, we definitely need that. Otherwise, it'll be you're just talking to a machine and just giving calculations and answers. वो तो फिर मजा आएगा नहीं है, right? But that's a concern for sure.
Another concern is that we can say that the concerns of data privacy. So like we can say that the products which US is making or which India is making are too expensive. Like we can say the product that Boeing is making, उसके counterpart में आप देख सकते हैं China is making the same part. वो उनकी cheap quality होती है, they are cheap, वो बनते भी कम cost पे. But the thing is, like, if you are saying something to it, like ChatGPT or something else, and AI, you are on the basis of health perspective, I'm saying. So it is taking your data, it is taking all of your information. Right. So your information is spread across the company. So companies will charge you according to that. They can send you things like they can sell you courses, they can sell you products, but they could be harmful. So it is an, we can say that there is a spread of a misinformation to the patient, to the people. Can you say that?
Right, 100%. I totally agree to this. And I've mentioned in my slide too that data privacy is a major concern. And I have given the example in a way. Imagine if I, as a person, am funding one company who's making an AI chatbot for healthcare. And at the same time, as an investor, I'm also invested in a pharmaceutical company who's making some medicines. So the data I'm getting from the patients from that AI chatbot, I can use that data to make medicine. Or otherwise, I can ask or train my AI bot just to recommend my company's medicine all the time. That could be a possibility. And on the other side, if all of my health data is available to some company, you are very right, they can try to make products very expensive, and only those products which can save your life could be a possibility. So this is definitely a biggest concern, and that's why even governments, when they are making policy frameworks, they are thinking that the AI should be explainable. So if AI is giving you some recommendation, it should give what we call in our research citation. It should give citation like how and why the AI has given this recommendation. उसने क्या सोच के किस रिसोर्स के behalf पे ये चीज का आंसर करा है. And this in a perspective I am understanding. अगर वो कल को मुझे 4 medicines बता रहा है कि you should take these 4 medicines, that AI should be answerable. Why only these 4 medicines? Like अगर technology language में बोलूं, if we do any change on our websites or any sort of changes, कुछ भी technical changes होती हैं तो there is a log book. वो logs के अंदर add होता है. So that's how AI would be, explainable in a way. Like any recommendation that AI is giving, that is also marked in a logbook. So as scrutiny जिसे हम कहते हैं, बाद में auditing कहते हैं जिसे हम, उसकी auditing हो सके, if that AI was actually acting in the good interest of mankind or otherwise acting in the interest of any company, that could be a possibility, right? Yes, sir.
What about the recent advancements in the healthcare? What about the research work? What about the new interventions? What about the new diseases? Experimentation? Do you think that would be a helpful tool in future? The research will not be stagnant at a particular place. We are working on that data that is circulating and available in the market. Nobody will be doing the researches and finding out the result. Then it will be like a window 8, 9, 10, and Apple can change the software, but you cannot change the human body. So that was the concern.
Right, definitely. So I think when it comes to OpenAI Chat GPT, they intentionally have stopped. Like I think their data is till September 2022 or 23, 22 something, right? But as a company, technology company, when we are building our AI models, we give them the what we call them is like data pipelines. We give them the data pipelines which can be connected to the latest available information on internet. It could be from anywhere. But you are very right on that, sir. Like it could be a possibility that uh, it can be manipulated, what we can say, right? Whatever data is being fed to AI, it will only, for example, from my perspective, if there's a cure of cancer already been found with one researcher, but they are not ready to give that data to AI because it will be widely spread right away. Otherwise it will take a lot of time for them to get the patents. I think it'll have to have a confined collaboration with all the researchers and scientists who are working this in this domain to have that data being available on one pipeline, and that pipeline goes to it should have been a possibility. That's what it is. Yes, 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 true. Research papers, but it is a possibility in a way. Like if there are thousands of research papers, like if I have to make a hypothesis for my project if I'm working in this domain. So having those all sort of research papers analyzed by AI could be a very good possibility in education. So as I can understand what has happened already and what next sort of hypothesis I can build. But yeah, there are definitely biggest concerns on that part. I totally agree on that. So AI for preventive healthcare and wellness, I think we're already using Apple Watches or Google Smart Watches, I would say, or Fitbits. These are actually giving you the assessment of your body or your sleep patterns, your heart, I would say heart rates, how these are good, bad, or you need some sort of assessments down the line that is happening through the, wearable devices. There are a lot of lifestyle apps, but I think I was trying to search some Ayurveda apps, like if that is being in a way like Ayurveda practices are being recommended to the diagnosis or to the recommendations in the lifestyle, but I was not able to find much of them. There was Ayur AI, some sort of thing, but that was a company more inclined towards selling their consultations and products. But that's a very huge possibility in this Ayurveda domain. Can we go next, please? So AI in medical research and education, with sir, we have already discussed about it. Like there could be a possibility you can, take the help of AI when you are researching on something or when you are actually learning the medical domain, you can have the benefit of AI in that. Living with AI, it's like आज के टाइम पे हम कैसे AI के साथ साथ चल सकते हैं, it is basically on that. फैकल्टी AI के ऊपर बच्चों को प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं जो एजुकेशन ले रहे हैं, emphasizing human empathy, जो बिल्कुल पॉइंट उठाया गया था कि ह्यूमन एम्पैथी कैसे आएगी. सो वी कैन ट्रेन the AI bots on that part. That's one thing. Virtual assistants, जो हमने पिछली स्लाइड पे बात करी. So our company also has an AI deployed already. So this is a number which calls and WhatsApp are being handled by AI. And just for the presentation purposes, yesterday I was trying to call this number. If anybody wants to make a call, I have the Canadian number. We can make the call. So I tried. Although this Samantha, we have given her name Samantha. Although Samantha is not trained on health data, it has been just only trained on our company's data, what we do, what are our products and services. But I was able to, give her the symptoms, give her the challenges. I explained her a lot about my situation at the time, and she was empathetic as well as able to answer some of the things that I can do at my home. But she was very clear on that part, like this is not a medical advice. So I think there's a long way. If there's any volunteer who wants to make a call, we can do that. But I was pretty impressed. Just for the sake of this presentation, I was trying on this activity. Anybody wants to do this? Right? Otherwise, you can take a picture and have a conversation with this AI bot. That's how things are happening. Let's go next. So how many of you want to explore integrating AI tools? I'm specifically asking about the tools as of today. I'm not saying anything about the future. If there could be a possibility in your education, in your practice, in your day-to-day, operations related to healthcare, would you be open to integrate AI tools? Yes. Yes. Great. Okay. Cool. So practical steps for deployment is number one, digitize patient records, organize faculty development programs like this. We are having partnered with technology companies, so as we can have the data and the technology company can bring their technology and get it built. Gonna build a model. I think that will be the best way to go forward. Global collaborations are happening a lot. WHO is having a digital strategy already. Multi-country research projects are about to happen. I think countries like India, Indonesia, who has a big heritage of herbs and everything, they are actually coming up with their holistic treatments, and they are giving the data to the international organization so as there can be a collaborative approach to building an AI model which can have both the domains, allopathy and Ayurveda together. Yeah. So that's the conclusion. AI is reshaping healthcare globally with a huge potential for the Ayurveda incorporation. Faculty play a critical role in embracing and guiding this transformation. So that is expected from the institutional healthcare domain. So as the trainings can already be in a way, so as the new generation healthcare practitioners should be aware that AI is definitely taking some space, if not the all. So we have to be prepared on that. So call to action is begin digitization efforts, and otherwise try to incorporate some of the AI tools in your daily life. That is it. Next slide is simply just to give you a perspective, the AI proposition. If I saying like try to incorporate AI tools, you would be thinking कैसे करें उसको. So AI अभी के टाइम पे as of today तीन चीजों में काम कर रहा है. या तो वो आपकी ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी बढ़ा सकता है. इमेजिन आपकी रिसेप्शन काउंटर पे या आपके जो असिस्टेंट्स हैं उनको हेल्प करने में, इट कैन बी हेल्पिंग यू विद enhanced decision making. So you're giving uploading the data of the patient to the AI in front of your computer screen, and एक मिनट में वो बता सकता है कि check for this. It happened to my baby. She was admitted to hospital recently in Mohali, and we were very concerned because she's born in Canada. So doctors had done a great job, but just for my sake, I was checking with AI, giving all the symptoms, giving all the medicines. I was able to get all the clear answers what were being given by the doctor. So it was a very great moment for that. Let's have a round of applause for the team, for the management. Thank you. Okay. So last, AI doesn't replace your expertise. It actually empowers you, which means we should not think about AI in a way that it is going to take the position and, reform the healthcare. It will actually empower the practitioners in a way that they can do more. They can, help patients with the smart medicine rather than, the traditional, what is going already in the. And this is the perks. This is a scan code. You guys can take a screenshot as a gesture and with collaboration with Saraswati Group colleges. Thank you for the opportunity. I think If you scan this code, you have to put a workshop code that we have done today. You'll be able to get an e-certification from our company as well as an attendee of this workshop. Next, please. Thank you. If there are any questions, I think there was a slide for Q&A. Any questions? Yes, please.
So actually this question will be for both the respective guests as what I have learned from both the lectures. So sir, as sir said earlier that there are gene mutations that we are seeing, like we have a lot of diseases which are due to gene mutations, which are due to congenital deformities, we can say. Like these gene mutations are done, like sir said that we have become dependent on AI. Like you said, if a patient is feeling ill or something else, he is going to chat GPT or at chat AI bot and he is getting the treatment manual from that, he is applying it. But we can say that it is the information what he is getting from the chat, it is getting saved in his memory, it is getting saved in the gene. So longer in the in longer go, there will be some sort of gene mutation in the body. So can we say that we are in a world in the initiation of making human robotics? We are replacing the humans with robots. Can we say that? And then I can say that if we are saying that these machines are incorporating humans and humans are behaving like machines. Can we say that is a machine to machine maneuver? And what will be the end of this AI and this machine? Likewise, I am saying that we are replacing humans by robots. It is just like that. It is simply like that.
Right. So very interesting aspect. You're very right. There is a start of new world, I would say, with the AI coming in, and I think like I've seen the dot-com bubble last time. What has made the changes to the world like this? Like the online business, what is happening today? It started in 1990s. It took 35 to 40 years, and even today there are still small businesses. If we see in the Western world, there are not that much of small businesses. There are usually the big stores like Walmart, like Costco, but in India there are still small businesses. So it will take a lot of time to get to that change. And with respect to AI, the recent thing with I have seen with the Elon Musk Tesla, like their robot is Optimus, and that Optimus is able to work in a retail store or work in a popcorn store, was able to make the popcorns, was able to serve the popcorns, like everything that a human can do, like that robot was doing it. And they have the, I would say, home robot which is able to cook, which is able to clean the floors, everything, because having a house help in Western countries is not something that you can have easily. It's a luxury because the minimum wage is there. So that sort of problems are different to different worlds. It is happening there already. How it can come to India will be a different story, number one. Number two, when we are saying about healthcare, it would not be with simple chat GPT. It will have to take a lot of research and deployment in training those specialized healthcare boards. So when I was giving some examples, it was more likely just to take the perspective how ChatGPT is answering on that, right? But once decided, once government and big companies says, okay, so AI in healthcare is a reality, let's face that, let's develop that. So then there will be, I would say, licensing, there will be legalizations, all sort of, because pharmaceutical and healthcare is a regulated practice, right? Not everybody can, start their profession by overnight. They have to go through a lot of study, they have to give examinations, they have to get licensed, then they come the practitioners, right? So it'll take a lot of time, but you are very right. Down the line, what my perception also feels is like the time is not that far when we are seeing machines all around us, when we are seeing like the humans, they could be machines. So as of today, if I take my Google meetings or Zoho meetings, I always have an AI bot listening to my meeting, making the notes and giving me the transcription at the end of the day. After 1 hour of meeting, I don't need to remember like what has been discussed. Out of the meeting notes, then I just instruct my AI, like just send the email to the attendee and just explain like this is my call to action. So down the line, doctors could possibly be using that also, their own personal GPT, in a way like when they are diagnosing a patient, they can, as of today, I see like they scan their prescriptions just to make records, right? The records will definitely be made by that bot. Like there are a lot of possibilities. From technical side, from technology side, we always say whatever you can think in your mind, that can be possible with technology, because we humans are creators, right? Any other question? Any other question? Shall we wind this up? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. It was a pleasure over here.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. The valedictory ceremony of the Delhi Development Program, last day of the Delhi Development Program. program on AI and healthcare. So let us take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the dedication, commitment, and collaborative spirit of each team member who played an integral role in making this event a grand success. So for that, I would like to invite all the dignitaries, principals and guests on the stage for the very dignitary ceremony. So let's have a huge round of applause.
Now I kindly request our dignitaries to present a token of gratitude to our esteemed guest speakers, Dr. Satish Sharma and Mr. Ritesh Watts.